Welcome to today's video. I am freshly showered. We're here because a couple of people have asked me recently if I would do a hair tutorial, and I've been thinking about doing it. In fact, I might do a couple. The products that I put on my hair, a couple of different ways I braid my hair to get a little something going, and how I blow dry my hair and style with a blow dryer. But today I'm going to do the look that I had on the other day. I can't remember what video it was. I'll write it down here, and a couple of people commented on that. So my hair is pretty wet. I've had it in a towel. The towel I cannot remember the name of. Put it right here, link it down below, for about 20 minutes or so. Usually I'll take it out after 20 minutes and let it air dry for a little while, but you know, I'm fighting the light, so we're gonna go in with a dry. This is the T3, and I just do a rough dry. I don't use a brush, nothing. And I'm just going to fast forward through this and put on some free music. I'm not rough dry yet, but I will be soon. I'm going to turn off the camera and finish up, and I'll be right back. I'm still not done, but I wanted to give myself a break, and I generally like to dry a little, go into the living room, watch a video, dry a little. My hair is pretty much straight. It doesn't really hold a curl. It has been color treated for a very long time, and I have a lot of it. But if you can imagine, I have a lot less than I used to. Like, hi. But I used to have even more hair, where it seriously was a chore to dry it. And now it's a lot easier, but it still does take some time. So this is still a lot of moisture in the hair. I'm not looking for bone dry, because I am going to want to spray it, but I want pretty much dry. I don't want to feel any moisture in the back of my head, and certainly not on my ends. Back in a while. It's almost there. There's still a little bit of dampness, so I'm going to, there's still a little bit of heat as well, so I'm going to cut away and do another video and come back, and we'll get into styling. Alright you guys, the hair is pretty much dry. The next thing we're going to do is curling iron. Now I'm going to protect before I do the curling iron. If I do the other way that I style my hair, the usual way I style my hair, is I dry it with the round brushes, and I have several of them, and then I pin them in and move around the head, and I always use a heat protectant for that. But since the way I dry my hair, I'm not getting a ton of heat on it, I move around pretty fast, I don't do it. Now it's time to do it, because we are going to do curling iron. So this is not my usual mode of hair styling, but it is what I did the other day when a couple of people commented on my hair. And two, this is, for me, I don't have air conditioning, and I'm always kind of hot anyway. Blow drying my hair is fine in the fall and winter when it's cool, but when it's hot, it's like the last thing I want to do is take a shower, blow dry my hair, and get hot and sweaty. So this might be a really nice solution. I might start doing this a little bit more. I have no idea what this is. It's a pretty big barrel. I mean, there's my hand, there's the barrel. I've had this forever. I don't know what brand it is. No doubt you would never be able to find it anyway, so you can do what you want. You can do it this way, but this is metal, so ooh, don't do that. You can wrap your hair around it as well, depending on, you know, what suits you. And I am not a hairstylist, you guys. I'm just someone who's had hair most of my life. So I'm going to start in the back because it's the easiest, and I'm just going to grab random hunks. I'm not going to brush them, but I am going to spray them. And this spray also kind of helps not only protect the hair, but to help to hold the curl. But for me, my truth is this. I start up here and go down a little bit, and then start the curl. For me, this will settle. Whatever I get today will settle pretty quickly. Pull a little bit and down. And there'll be less of it in about an hour. And then, when I just pull down a little bit and do it again, pull down a little bit and again. And I twist each time after I pull down again. And I want to get the ends. I don't have a blunt haircut. So if I left the ends straight like so many people do, and it does look cute on so many people, and I'm going to pull it out and stick it over there. It would just look witchy. It wouldn't look cool at all. That kind of thing only looks good on somebody who has a blunt cut, in my humble opinion. And I'm taking pretty big pieces, but nothing wrong with, and I do it all the time, I kind of alternate bigger pieces to smaller pieces, and I'll alternate direction as well, but I'm going to do the same direction again, and I start and pull it out a little bit, and then do a little turn. Pull it out a little bit, turn, pull it out a little bit, turn, and I do each one just a little different. I'm really not a hairstylist, so it's really about intuition, and I'll let it go a little bit. And get that end. And just let it cool off. I feel kind of silly even doing this video because I'm just not that person. And even when I get my hair cut and styled, my guy never uses the curling iron on me. He always uses the brushes. Same thing. Pull out. I know, pulling out a little bit more while I'm turning. I hit this to loosen up that grasp. Pull down again, turn some more. You can kind of do this if you want to. And I'm going to go the other direction. It's totally willy-nilly for me. And I'm going to do this way. Alright, so I've done a lot of the back. My front is in layers, so I'm going to kind of pull like this, but I don't want to get the very front of the hair. And definitely protect this nicely because it's quite colored in this area. And I'm just doing the same thing. It's just I wanted to point out that I do have layers, and those layers are, the idea is to give me some good shape so it's not just straight hair and blunt cut. I had a blunt cut for years and years and years, but because my hair is so thick, it just looked like a broom. And finally, he used to blunt it and then he would razor the edges a little bit to lighten it up a little bit. But finally I went in there once and said, okay, I want bangs. He said, no, I'll give you long bangs, meaning he would make this shorter. And that's how long I've been doing this style, for a long, long time. And for a little more fullness in this area, just make the pieces smaller. And also go the opposite direction. That will help you with some fullness. I'm not doing that right now. And I don't spend a long time. I really don't know how long you're supposed to spend in each area. And then we can start with the front, I suppose. Again, it's not something I really figured out. The front, I don't want the curl to start until it's around the ear. So I'm just first going to do this to give it a bit of a bend. But the curl part, I want it to look like it's been behind my ear, if that makes sense. And then the final piece on this side. And for the final piece, I think I'll just go the other way. Same thing. So it doesn't really look like much of anything. I mean, I personally don't like this kind of look, but I know a lot of people do. To me, this look has been in style for such a long time, and I just think of Shirley Temple curls. It's dated to me. I don't care for it. But I know a lot of people do. So you could just leave it at this. It's not really a beachy wave look. I don't know how to do a beachy wave. I think it's kind of hard to do with my haircut and with my length of hair, but it's just a little something. I'm going to do the other side and we'll come back, let the curls cool down, and do a little something to zhuzh it up. All right, so this side, definitely dry and set, and I just want to look to see if there's any ends that aren't done. Again, a lot of people like the ends like that. I just don't like it for me. And also, because my hair won't hold this curl, if I do the ends, what I'll end up getting tomorrow after I sleep with it is that nice kind of flat, slightly curved look that you see me do so many times, and it really needs to have something going on with the ends. That's just my preference. So you could just leave it all like this if you wanted to, but it wouldn't take much to give it some zhuzh. And again, you guys, there's a part of me, I really like this, but there's a part of me that feels like there's something a little old-fashioned about it as well, which is fine if you're younger, but as a woman who's 59 years old, I feel like I really have to check and make sure I don't look like I'm wearing a hairstyle that was in style 10 years ago, or 30 years ago, or 40 years ago. Even though I have been wearing my hair long for most of my life, I have had some short haircuts. But I don't want it to look like, oh, you've had the same haircut since you were 15. You know what I mean? But my haircut was good when I was 15. And I'm just going to run my hands through it. I do kind of think that blow drying is probably not as damaging, styling with a blow dryer, as a curling iron. And just kind of make it a little piecey if you want. This is how I did the look the other day that so many people asked me about, but the truth is, I've never gotten the same hairstyle. I don't have the skill to say, oh, I want to get that exact look again. And it doesn't happen. I'm just going to help this out right here. It looks confused. There we go. I do kind of feel it's a little old-fashioned, so I'm going to go like around like that. I think I like that a little bit more, just pulling it back because it had that little Farrah Fawcett thing going on, which, you know, that was a few years ago. And yeah, there it is, you guys. It's easy. It just takes some time. And this is how I would go about styling my hair with a curling iron. So yeah, you guys, I don't know what to say. I'm not a hairstylist, obviously. And I am not able to recreate looks that I do, but this is how I got the look that I had the other day, even though it's kind of different. I think I actually, instead of going out this side of my head, I did several in, although I did do several in this time too. But anyway, this is how I get it done. Maybe it's helpful to you. I sure hope that it is. And I hope that you consider giving me a thumbs up. It really helps my videos. And I'm going to do a couple more hair things over time, not, you know, one after another. Anyway, thank you so much for spending some time with me. I hope it was helpful to you, and I hope you come back again. Until we meet again, be safe and smart, and I'm wishing you good health.